Okay.
Hey, 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 Amanda, how's it going?
Going well, Charlene. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. We're here again talking about the market and mortgages and real estate and what's going on and what we're seeing boots on the ground. And I'm going to introduce myself, Charlene Williams. I'm a real estate broker with Real Estate Homeward, and I've been in the business for about 16 years. Amanda?
My name's Amanda Pivar. I'm a mortgage agent with Mortgage Connection, and I've been a mortgage agent for almost 15 years now. And I'm excited to be here and chat with you, Charlene. So thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you, Amanda, for doing this. We do this from time to time, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, and we'll get to it the next time we do a recording. But it's a bright, beautiful day. It is the 30th of April, and what do you want to talk about? What are we seeing on the mortgage side?
What I'm not seeing is enough people locking in their rates before they start shopping. It's this very weird trend that we've never seen before. Well, we've seen it before, but not in the last 5 years. And I think what's happening a lot is there's no competition, especially when it's condo buyers, that people are not getting their pre-approval because they can actually leave a financing condition in. And this is such a big mistake for two reasons. One, you're not really sure what you qualify for, but more importantly, if a rate changes from the time you start looking to the time you actually buy and it's gone up, there's not much to do if you haven't actually locked an interest rate in. So it's been a very interesting time that people are just doing their pre-approvals after they've already purchased, but they really should be locking in rates right away.
Well, I think it's not just rates, and correct me if I'm wrong. It's first of all, like you said, knowing what your budget is.
Yeah.
Second of all, the financing condition is just one of those things that happen all the time. So the financing condition doesn't necessarily give you, a mortgage broker, enough time to find if
Mhm.
you can actually purchase this house.
Yes, especially if somebody is putting 20% or more down payment. Condo appraisals, we need them on almost every single property right now. And if you have, say, 3 to 5 business days, but you have to gather all your documents, send your application in, that all takes time that you're really cutting away your time to get that appraisal done and make sure that you're not overpaying for a property within the allotted time period.
Right. So the other thing about that is, there are a lot of people, the general public at large, they go on these bank websites that have
Mhm.
calculate how much you can afford.
Yes.
That's not a pre-approval.
Oh, and I would never go off of it. I've gone on and, just answered it kind of what I thought people would. And my numbers were very incorrect because it asks you things like, are you paying rent? Do you have any other expenses? And yeah, you might be paying rent right now, but when you are actually purchasing a property, that expense goes away. So we don't actually have to factor that in. Or if you have a line of credit, a lot of people are putting in just the minimum payment, whereas we actually have to use 3% of the balance owing. So there's so much room for error when you don't have a professional actually looking at it who knows the guidelines. So anyone who goes on them, they're good just to know kind of maybe roughly payment wise what you're looking at, but definitely not for pre-approval.
Right. And the other thing is they may not necessarily put in all of the information that is needed. So
Mhm.
when you talk to a mortgage broker like Amanda, she's asking you for these documents, and by the time you
Yeah.
come to closing, she'll probably ask you for it again. It's a lot of work to get those documents if you don't keep a good system, or yeah,
Right.
filing or
That
anything.
organized.
Yeah, I mean, I've just gone through the process again with Amanda, and it took me days to find documents because I don't print anything anymore. It's all on my computer. So, but where did I put it on my computer?
No,
It's
I
one of
hear
those
you.
things, right? So, yeah, I mean, we have the tools to help out, but we can't
Yeah.
actually do the work for you.
100%. And I think another important point too, these online calculators, they're not checking your credit. And a
Yes.
lot of people come to me and say, well, I already have really good credit. I pay my payments all the time, XYZ, which is fantastic. But when we do a mortgage pre-approval, we double check your credit. And the amount of times we find something that somebody has no idea is actually on there that could be affecting their score or their approval is quite often. What we're seeing right now a lot of is HSBC credit cards
Hmm.
or Hudson Bay credit cards, because especially Hudson Bay credit cards, they closed down and a lot of people thought their balances were gone or they paid it and they stopped sending out reminders. So now all of a sudden people have these missed payments on $20 on a Capital, or sorry, an HSBC credit card, which is run by Capital One, that they didn't know about that's affecting their credit. So doing your pre-approval, also make sure that there's anything like that, it's nipped in the butt right away so it's not going to affect your affordability.
Right, right. So an HBC credit card doesn't your debit or whatever it is, your credit card balance didn't just go away because they closed last year? Oh, so you
No.
still owe that money?
So you still owe it because it's actually Capital One who runs their credits. So Capital One still wants their money.
Right. Wow, that is a good thing to know. I actually didn't even, it didn't cross my mind because I don't have an HBC card, but if you do, like, yeah, you need to get that taken care of.
Yeah. Another thing I've seen quite a few actually times is Rogers or Bell from when somebody was in university and lived in a share house, but the internet was under their name and they didn't probably close it out at the time up. So little things like this always seem to pop up on credit bureaus and they're not the end of the world. They just have to be rectified before you purchase. And these are things you know that you're able to do versus having a shock when you're trying to get pre-approved after you already purchased.
Right, right. Wow. Those are things that, yeah, I wouldn't even have thought of at all. But yeah, it's good to know. Thanks for pointing that out. So
Absolutely.
what are you seeing on the mortgage side? Are you busy or are you doing refinancing? So what is it that you're
Yeah.
doing? New buyers, first time
A lot
buyers?
of transfers actually right now. So a
Transfer.
lot of people up for renewal. Um, I think in previous years, we haven't really had this rate spiking as quickly as they have. Things have stayed pretty normal that we were doing renewals and waiting till usually the last minute to do it because rates at the time were a lot lower and people were going into a higher rate. But now when you see rates drop or increase 0.3% in overnight, it's really important that we're locking in clients much sooner than we were before, and in some scenarios, actually closing them sooner. So, a lot of lenders, and people don't realize this, have timelines where they don't charge penalties. So,
Hmm.
working with a mortgage specialist who knows these different lenders, the timeline, we've moved quite a few of our clients out a month or two sooner than their actual renewal with no penalty because right now their rate they locked in is low fours, but the equivalent is 4.64, and that's saving them a ton of money.
Right. That's good to know. So, yeah, get your pre-approvals. Like
Yeah.
as far as I understand it, they are saying that another two rate hikes this year by the end of the year. That's from all of my research and everything else, that's what I'm hearing. Whether it's true or not, we don't
Hmm.
know. We don't have a crystal ball, but
Yeah.
brace yourselves.
I think the big word yesterday during Bank of Canada was stability. They want to keep seeing stability. And we're not, let's face it, we're not exactly in a stable market for a couple of reasons. One, we have oil prices being so high, which creates instability. But then two, unemployment is extremely, extremely high. And you hear all the time people are being let off. And you have Rogers, who's given 100,000 people voluntary layoffs with pay. And
Yeah.
these are not normal things that we see, and these are two very different ways that Bank of Canada makes decisions. So it'll be interesting to see if they stay stable for the rest of the year, if we see a decrease. And now some of the markets are even saying maybe we'll see a decrease, not even an increase, which would be
Hmm. Right. And I know as far as homes go and how much we're selling, I believe we were down from this time last year. The count is down. So, yeah, it looks like the spring market is starting late again. Um, but there are pockets and areas of the city
yeah.
where there's still multiple offers on items like properties.
Absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
I think at the time that I was looking at it, um, it depends on your price point as well. I know that in Brampton, the price point between, I'm going to say, 800,000 and 900,000 for a detached home or even a semi. There are a lot of buyers that are in between that number. So
Yeah.
you're getting multiple offers on homes in Brampton at that level.
Yeah, absolutely. Good
And
properties will always sell
right. And
in
we're
this
not
market.
saying like the market, we don't know if this is bottom, but
Mhm.
I guess and I surmise that it's close to bottom. And
I
with
agree.
it being close to bottom, at any point that you buy between now and if it hits bottom, when it hits bottom, you're going to be moving up higher in equity, right? So you'd have to
Absolutely.
be, I mean, if you had bought in 2021 or 2022, you really have no equity in your home right now because the prices have fallen so much. But if you buy now, you will have equity in 2, 3 years. So that's a good way of looking at it.
For sure. And the market will eventually turn around. I mean, I think I agree with you. We're definitely not at bottom yet, but we're probably pretty close because we're not seeing as many listings as we normally do, but we're still seeing some buyers out there. So eventually we're going to hit that point where it becomes a seller market because inventory is down and demand is up.
Right. And I think like we said, in areas of the city, there are still multiple offers. Like
Yeah.
condos, for example, are selling. I mean, everybody's like, oh, the condo market, the condo market. But if your condo is priced properly, if it has the amenities and the square footage and everything else, and again, I'm going to stress, priced properly, you're going to
Yes.
sell. It's a
Yeah.
matter of time, maybe 30 days, maybe 60 days. We're going back to 2015 and 2016 when it takes a little while to sell properties now. It's not put a property on the market one day and then 4 or 5 days it's gone. We're not
Yeah.
at that level right now.
No, but we will eventually. We look back at 2018, 2017. It's not the first time our market's gone backwards.
Right, but
Hopefully, it won't happen back to the property.
I also don't know that I want to, as a realtor, I don't know that I want to go through that again.
Yeah.
That was difficult for a lot of reasons. You don't want to be a realtor and tell your buyer how many times, oh, we didn't win, we didn't win, we didn't win. You
Buyer
know?
fatigue, that became
Right,
a real thing. Absolutely.
right. And then you've got your sellers that are expecting it, and there are a lot of sellers out there that are not realistic with price. You can explain it to them until you're blue in the face, but they just want 2020, 2021, 2022 prices again, and we're not in that market.
Yep, I totally agree.
So. Anyways, that's just my thoughts. If you have any thoughts at all, like and subscribe to our channel, my channel. And if you have any questions at all, put it in the comments and we'll get to it the next time we do one of these. How
Absolutely.
that's good for you, Amanda?
Works for me, and I'm looking forward to our next one.
Okay, great. So chat soon. And like I said, like and subscribe. Cheers.